Wait, if Apple made AirPods Pro Max, would they be a Max version of the Pro or the Pro version of the Max? How much is that going to cost? Hello everyone, I'm the Flying Pig, and today we'll be taking a look at the AirPods Max and why they cost $550. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, comment what you want to see next, and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. So recently, I've been listening to MKBHD's Waveform podcast. It's a really good podcast. I highly recommend it, and I'll have a link in the description to it if you want to listen to it. Anyway, in one of his episodes, he was talking about why AirPods Max are $550. There is, of course, the Apple tax and the small attention to details that only Apple can do. They also apparently sound amazing, and the transparency mode is the best on any headphones. However, that's not nearly worth $550 for most people. Apple is a company that makes things for the general audience. They're very mainstream. Anywhere you look, there's someone wearing AirPods. The majority of people I know own iPhones. iPads are everywhere. Apple Watch sold the entire Swiss industry last year, and more people are switching to Mac because it's much better value than Intel now that the M1 is out and cranking out some insane stuff. So whenever Apple makes something that's not for the general audience, people get mad and start making fun about it. The Mac Pro, for example, with its $700 wheels and the $1,000 stand, was not for the average user. It was for people who did heavy digital creating tasks, like video editing, and it was for people who needed to process colossal amounts of data. It was also for people with really deep pockets. Apple made the accessories for the Mac Pro so much more expensive than an iPhone, because it didn't really care if people bought them or not. People who do buy the accessories will feel special and part of an exclusive club, and will probably become one of Apple's most dedicated fans. Even if they didn't buy those overpriced accessories, they would still feel special whenever they think, I have a computer that works with $1,000 accessories. And for the mainstream group, they'll read the articles and watch the reviews and think, wow, that's a powerful computer, but it's way out of my budget. Then, when Apple comes out with an affordable Mac like the Mac Mini, people will remember, oh, that's the company that made the really awesome computer. I can afford one now. It wouldn't really matter to the average person anyway, since the performance on the Mac Mini is already excellent and you're still getting the macOS experience. We can see this with the HomePod. Apple made the first HomePod ultra expensive, but when people heard it, they knew they wanted it. It sounded amazing, but it was way too out of their budget. Then, when the HomePod Mini came out, people were like, oh, those are the Apple speakers that sounded really great. I can buy one now. The first HomePod was a stool for the inexpensive, newer HomePod Mini. We can see this with the AirPods Max. Apple doesn't really care if no one buys the AirPods Max. They were released in the holiday season and they're kind of sold out, so I guess that's not the case. But even if nobody bought them, it wouldn't really matter because they would read the articles and watch the reviews, and AirPods Max would have the reputation of sounding amazing, yet a luxury most people couldn't afford. I bet that in a year or two, Apple will release AirPods Max SE or something, and people will think, those are the amazing sounding headphones that Apple made. I can buy them now. Essentially, this way Apple would make more sales in the long run. Kind of a smart tactic. This is how Apple succeeded in the first place. They start out with a reputation of an expensive, niche luxury brand, and then release a cheaper product with enough similarities that people buy it. That's why the iPhone XR and 11 and 12 were released. They looked like their more expensive counterparts enough that people didn't really care and got it. You can see this across many of their product lines, not just HomePod. The Apple Watch SE, for example, looks enough like a Series 6 that the average person walking on the street can't tell the difference and thinks you have a more expensive model. Most people don't really care about the tech specs, they just like the Apple branding. For me, I just think of Apple as another tech company. They're no more special than Samsung or Google, and don't deserve more hate than them either. Apple has its drawbacks and its benefits, like any other company. Microsoft makes amazing productive software, Samsung makes killer displays, Google has amazing cameras, Apple has amazing user experience and software. They're all tech companies and should all be loved equally. Don't hate on other people, respect their choices. Let's live in a kinder world where specs matter less and experience and quality matter more. Alright, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to check out my other videos. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers, so I'll really appreciate it if you just click that red button if you haven't already. It really doesn't have any disadvantages, and if for some reason you don't like my content, you can unsubscribe at any time. Don't forget to check out MKBHD's Waveform podcast, which I'll have a link down below for, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video.